I feel strong about right and wrong, folks. Yeah, I'm Mr. Shoots, by the way. I got something deep inside of me. That's not that. Courage is the thing that keeps us free. Keeps us free. Yeah, okay, so anyway, we're back, and it's Let's Play WWE 2K14. I am Mysterious JG, and I'm having a grand old time reliving the past glories of Hulk Hogan. One of those guys who, you know, watched wrestling as a kid, then went to college and got on the internet, saw everyone making fun of Hulk Hogan and talking about how great other people were. I've kind of gotten over it, and now I can go back and be like, Hulk Hogan, Rollerball, and you King Kong Bundy, brother. Despite your chain wrestling excellence, dude, I'm still gonna big boot and leg drop you, brother. Still think he couldn't lace up Ric Flair's boots, but anyway. Moving on to WrestleMania 3.
Reigning Intercontinental Champion Randy Macho Man
Here's my
Savage
real hero.
took things too far in his title defense against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
He can't breathe. Look at that. He can't breathe.
Yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage, Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, was in a state of shock when Ricky the
Really
Dragon Steamboat came back.
low-key selling there by Ricky Steamboat.
After suffering a crushed larynx.
But this time, in front of the largest audience in the world, I will not only embarrass you, not only pin you with the 1, 2, 3 count, but I'm gonna put you out for good. The day has finally come. We have reached our moment. We clash like two titans. But there will only be one winner.
Macho Man and the Dragon would settle their differences in the ring at WrestleMania 3, but this was not the only heated rivalry going into the big event.
WrestleMania 3, the biggest main event of all time. The heavyweight champion of the world, Hulk Hogan, and the challenger, Hulk's former friend, Andre the Giant.
The Dread Pirate Roberts versus Mr. Nanny at last.
I knew he was different.
I'm there for one reason, to challenge
Hey,
you for a world
Piper did get to pop in.
match in the WrestleMania.
You can't believe it? Maybe you'll believe this, Hogan.
When you tore my shirt off, man, when you tore the cross, you tore the heart and soul out of all the little hopsters, man.
Believe me, WrestleMania 3 will be your last lesson. Au revoir.
Punk ass bitch. That translates the same in French and English. On November 22nd, 1986 edition of Superstars. Oh, I love Superstars, man. Ricky Steamboat got a shot against Macho Man Randy Savage for the Intercontinental Championship. Steamboat. Sorry. No. It's not. Oh, it's not actually done loading, which means it's not going to let me cycle through at my own pace. Yeah, they really don't want you reading this text. Steamboat lost the match by countout, and Savage viciously assaulted Steamboat, fracturing Steamboat's larynx with the ring bell. On the July 3rd, 1987 edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, Steamboat returned from his injury and prevented Savage from attacking George the Animal Steel like he had done to Steamboat 2 months prior. A supremely confident Savage had little respect for Steamboat and taunted him in a series of interviews as the date for their Intercontinental Championship rematch at WrestleMania 3 approached. This is going to be tricky, folks. This one has hidden objectives. Those are always a pain. It means you need to play through the match before it tells you, and get to a certain point in the match before it actually tells you what you need to do. And if I recall from playing before, this one requires you to do a roll-up, something that is actually kind of tricky with the controls in this game. It's not actually something I do that much, so let's see. But I'm pretty sure this one featured some kind of promo where they had the Macho Man's in-ring, like in-game representation of the Macho Man cutting a promo to a voiceover of the Macho Man. It's either that or that might have been for WrestleMania 8, but it's pretty creepy if that's what's coming, man. Get ready. It's kind of weird. I guess not.
Here he comes, making his way down the runway. The reigning Intercontinental Champion, the Macho Man, with Miss Elizabeth. This contest is for the Intercontinental Championship, and it is
The interesting thing about Macho Man and Elizabeth in WWF was that Macho went back and forth between babyface to a heel, as people in the know say. He went from good to evil repeatedly, but Elizabeth pretty much always just kind of pretty, sort of vapid smile, Vanna White type. And you couldn't do Elizabeth now. She would be expected to, A, be way skankier than Elizabeth ever was. If she wasn't going to be a wrestler in her own right, they would expect her to wear, like, You know, now in fairness, Elizabeth once had to get up and like lift her skirt and show some undies to distract the bad guys during a tag match, but
He won the title and has defended it for over a year. Give Savage some credit, JR.
I just got done talking about how she couldn't be a diva now because you'd have to do more than just stand there and look pretty, and then I got to thinking about some of the current crowds, women in the WWE. Going into like these 6 diva tag matches where they never get off the apron. And they let AJ Lee and Natalya wrestle the entire match with 2 people on either side just standing on the apron. Anyway. I seem to have somehow missed all of the important Ricky the Dragon Steamboat stuff when it was current. And it was all stuff that I had to catch up on later. But people were still pretty jonesed about Bruce Lee. He was kind of riding on that a little bit. Not that the guy couldn't actually put on a good show. That's not gonna rip off. But yeah, the whole like I'm gonna dress in this karate outfit thing. I guess he did strike karate poses and stuff too. And he got to carry around his little. He'd go around with his blonde-haired, you know, Caucasian wife and carry around his little kid. Like he had a little white baby that he carried around wearing like a dragon costume. It was pretty adorable. But no, at this point he's known basically for not being able to talk because of his crush moans. WrestleMania moment. When the 4-button prompt appears, press the corresponding button to successfully trigger a WrestleMania moment. Yes, it's this game's button smash boss fight minigame. It's kind of like Wet for the Xbox 360. An LP of that if you feel like checking it out. But yeah, occasionally it's just like, well, we wanted something really cool to happen, but we couldn't come up with a way to make it interactive, so you have to play a game of Simon where you press the correct button fast enough to make the result of the thing that you're not in any real way controlling come out favorable to you. So there we are. That's how it's going to work. Objectives may require you to use abilities. Abilities different from Superstar. To review abilities, pause the game. Yeah, I'm going to have to use one of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's abilities is the leverage pin. When your opponent has sustained heavy damage, reverse certain attacks by pressing RT, or move the right joystick next to a stun, down next to a stun standing opponent. Basically, it's a roll-up, but I have to try to use a roll-up against the Macho Man, Randy Savage, who has all the same abilities I do. So what the hell? Kind of awesome special I got. Diving crossbody, diving brain chop. I don't really remember any of his finisher stuff. He did the double chicken wing. That was a signature, but that's how he beat Ric Flair in like one of their famous matches. I don't think that was really one of his moves, so much like a signature move of his, so much as just a move that he used in a famous match. Well, whatever. All the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat aficionados out there will be writing in to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. So at this point, I have to complete a WrestleMania objective, and that'll just unlock on its own after a while. So all I'm really going to do is just try to beat up the Macho Man, try to stock some finishers to have in reserve until I know what I'm supposed to do to actually.
Dragon rehabbed and focused on facing the Macho Man here at WrestleMania 3. This match is about more than just the Intercontinental Championship. It's about payback.
It's about larynx crushing. By the way, I'm a bad person, and the first time I played this match off camera, I did go outside and attack Mrs. to see what would happen. You get DQ'd, and Lawler and JR. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Every man has weaknesses, King.
Except T-Booker. T-Booker has no weakness.
After all that he's had to overcome, I'm surprised the Dragon can even breathe, let alone compete.
T-Booker has no weakness, kind of an inside joke. It's just a particularly weird call that I remember JBL making during a Booker T match. He just kind of misspoke a little bit and said T-Booker has no weakness. It was funny. I remembered it long after everyone else forgot. Now, signature moves. I can run up to somebody and do the crossbody. I guess that's probably my best thing. Either that or get behind him and do this. Yeah, I'll do the old Irish.
Savage has a history of letting his emotions get
oh no!
the best of him.
WrestleMania moment is ducking and clothesline. Okay, well, that worked out. So I'm gonna do this. Oh no!
Not your garden variety impact on that one.
There we go. Now I have to get him to critical damage. I've done that. Now there's a hidden objective.
He's a great champion, JR. Well,
Let's get a finisher in here, just for the hectagalizondo of it. Diving crossbody. Dive versus stand opponent. Diving brain chop. Okay, well, it sounds like all my finishers are top rope stuff.
Two supreme athletes at their peak. I'd be hard-pressed to disagree with you, King. This is certainly one for the ages.
Scoop slam! I just lost $15,000. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is the cinematic. I didn't even get a chance to avoid this finisher.
If he hits Dragon with the elbow, it's all over.
Does this mean I automatically evade? No, it doesn't. Oh, but the ref. Oh, that's right. I do remember this now. He knocked out the referee. Now the referee is still out when he wants to cover. And I'm supposed to get like a.
And there's no referee to make the count. Boy, he just got laid out. Macho Man Randy Savage is gifted with an almost surgical ability to target an opponent's weaknesses. Absolutely. Macho is an expert at chipping away at your weaknesses. The Dragon might be in for a long night. Steamboat is certainly experiencing lingering effects from that vicious
And I don't have a finisher anymore. No, I still have a finisher, so how come this isn't working?
That's right, JR. The Dragon took his eyes off of Savage for just a second and paid for it.
All four corners of the ring, buddy.
This match has taken so much out of this guy.
Well, actually, the easiest way to do this is to, because there is a move. If you have a special, you can do a taunt that causes them to get up. It's kind of like the signal for the diamond cutter / RKO / stunner taunt, which magically forces your opponent to rise so you can hit it. And that is, in fact, what I'm going to want to do here. Because I want to win by doing move the right stick down next to a stunned standing opponent. Okay.
He's not going to give up. But, man, this has been physical. Nice crepe. Here's the body press.
There you go. So we didn't get to see a finisher from Steamboat, but considering that he had his larynx crushed and came back from all this adversity and then won by roll-up, I don't feel like my match was really that much more disappointing than his. Okay, actually, the actual WrestleMania 3 match between these two was a little bit better than my brief Xbox 360 showing, but still, it would have been nice to see Steamboat win with a finisher instead of a roll-up. But they used to blow off feuds with really weak endings back then. But we got the super cool Asian music, and that should be enough. So, we already got the word from the game. They told us Hulk versus Andre was a big feud. So in WrestleMania 3, we're going to have 2 matches. We're going to have Steamboat Savage, and we're going to have Hogan Andre. That'll be coming up next time, folks. I'm the Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Please join me for that. And what you going to do, brother? What you going to do when 24-inch pythons, you know what they do. Bye-bye.